Welcome to the Psychic Traineeship. I'm your host, Gabrielle, better known as Gabs, and I'm a psychic medium, trance channeler, and psychic development teacher. And I help women all around the world reconnect to their divine, intuitive feminine and become certified psychics, Akashic record readers, and healers, all through my program called the Psychic Traineeship. So if you're ready to activate your inner psychic, you're in the right place. On this podcast, we're going to be talking about all things intuitive, psychics, mediums. We're going to be talking to special guests. We're going to be talking about astrology, numerology, human design, talking about what it's like to truly live a psychic life and how easy it gets to be. And how good it is when you're connected to your spirit team and how easy life flows. So if you're ready to quantum leap into your most intuitive selves, let's go. What are we waiting for? Let's dive in to this week's episode. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Psychic Traineeship. If we haven't met, my name's Gabrielle Bentley. I'm your guide for this session, and I am so excited to dive into the world of spirit guides for you. This is actually a mini masterclass. My intentions for this masterclass is to empower you to understand what spirit guides really are and how they work, and give you all the wisdom I've learned from doing over 1,000 Akashic record readings, teaching hundreds of people to access their intuition, and ultimately just give you the hardest facts I've learned so you guys don't have to go and learn this. Because I wish this was what I was taught in my first day when I first turned up to my first psychic development teacher and was like, I want to know about guides. I wish someone actually told me the truth. So here I am to deliver it to you. And it's in a mini masterclass that's absolutely free. So I hope you enjoy. So if you're totally new to this woo world, right? And you're like, Gabs, what is spirit guides? Well, spirit guides are non-physical beings assigned to support us through life. They offer wisdom, guidance, protection, helping us navigate challenging times during life. They come in many forms like ancestors, angels, animals, ancestors, I said that twice, but ascended masters, and even other cosmic beings that I can't comprehend. Okay? And I want you to know I fully can't comprehend what it means to be a guide, because it's uncomprehendable to the human psyche. And as my main guide, his name is Micah. He is my doorkeeper. If you used to listen to the old podcast, Activate Your Intuition, you will have heard a lot about him. He's my best friend. He's an incredible source of wisdom for me. We hang out often. But the biggest thing I've learned is that spirit guides are not here to save you. A lot of people are unconsciously waiting for their guides to come in and fix everything. And that's not how it works. Your guides are here to empower you, not take control of your life. They're here to lead you to the water, but they can't make you swim, right? And that's why in the traineeship, I actually don't let my incredible psychic clients, like I've got some incredible clients who are currently in this round and they're in month 3 and they're already doing mediumship. Like they blow my socks off how intuitive these guys are. But we as humans can form an overly attachment to our spirit guides. Trust me, I've been there. I believed my spirit guides wanted me to be my highest self. I believed they were a cosmic cheerleader. I believed that they were going to push me and mold me to make this existence the best so I could help as many people as I needed to. And I kind of used them as this cosmic team in a hurtful way to me. And it wasn't until Micah really one day sat me down and was like, look, I need to mess up your brain today, Gabs. And I was like, okay, should I get tissues? And I did. And he pretty much told me that I had a attachment style to my guides, just like I have attachment styles to humans. If you don't know what your attachment styles are, it's actually a really important part of psychic development to get to know yourself. And I ultimately teach a lot about getting to know yourself, your nervous system, your body, your relationship styles, your shadows in the psychic traineeship, the course to activate your inner psychic. But I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that I was going to have an anxious attachment style to my guides because I'm an anxious attached human. Like I'm more in a more secure relationship now, but I didn't realize that was reflected in my guides. And this is one of the biggest problems. My spirit team have said that on a collective level, we're currently transcending through right now. We're actually transcending through the shadow of our attachments with the spirit team. So a lot of us are spiritually bypassing. And what I mean by that is we have spiritually bypassed to believe that our purpose is being a light worker. Our purpose is the transmutation of dark energy into light. And we feel like that's what our guides are here for, to help us transmute our pain to make life easier. But that's not their job. Your guides, no matter who they are, your grandmother, your grandfather, your pet, your best friend, you met your doorkeeper, Micah. These guides are you in different forms. So that means that you're cheering yourself on. You're inspiring you. You're helping you. And this is one of the biggest things I teach is that if you feel like you can't help yourself, you're going to struggle to have your guides step forward. Now, and it's not because of the victim mindset itself. It's not about thinking more positive thoughts, okay? It's not about that. And that's the toxic cycle many people get caught into. But it's actually about retraining the brain to believe there is better. It's not about the actual word you pick. It's about, do you believe it can get better? Do you believe it can get easier without your spirit team, without your guides? Do you believe you can make it better? And this is actually the cornerstone, the vibration you need to connect with your spirit team. Ultimately, this is what my psychic traineeship teaches. Do I believe I can heal myself? Do I believe I can transcend this by myself? Do I believe I can walk this path alone? Do I really feel like I need support? Because when we no longer feel like we need support, what happens is we know how to do it by ourselves. So it's such an added bonus. There is no pressure. There is no guides anymore trying to push you along and support you and help you. And this mindset, right? I want you to get that. Your guides aren't trying to push you or help you or make you better. They actually think wherever you are is perfect because you just came here to enjoy life. There is no bigger purpose spiritually. We're just here for the experience, right? And we have a lot of different types of guides helping us with a million different things. Right? It's not that you can't connect to them. The only reason you can't connect to them is generally your why. Why you're doing it is coming from a low vibration. I need support. I need help. I need to know what to do next. I need someone to tell me what to do. Right? That's not your guide's job. They're going to give you inspired action and inspiration. But they're ultimately not going to tell you what to do because they don't believe one thing is better than the other. Hey, beautiful souls. I just wanted to remind you that I have a free community where each month I run a free activation or masterclass. So if you love these podcasts, make sure that you're actually coming to these free live sessions hosted on Zoom because anyone from all over the world can attend or catch the replay. So the next one is happening on October 16th, and I'm holding a free third eye activation. And it's completely free, and it's all about awakening your psychic gifts and tuning in to your highest self. This transformation session will dive deep into the power of your third eye as the gateway to your intuition. It's going to give you clarity and inner knowing. Over time, life can cloud our third eye with doubts, fears, and blockages, preventing us from truly accessing our psychic potential. This activation is designed to clear those blockages and empower you to connect to your intuitive wisdom like never before. Activating your third eye completely changed how I see the world. It opened me up to new levels of awareness and psychic abilities I didn't even know I had. I'm passionate about guiding others through this activation because I believe we all have the potential to awaken our gifts and step into our power. If you are wanting any of the following, you should join this activation. Intuitive clarity, you want to awaken your psychic gifts. You want to energetically align your third eye. You want heightened awareness in your intuition. And ultimately, you want to feel empowered about intuition. This is more than just an activation. This is an opportunity to step into your potential as a psychic being. Whether you're just beginning to explore your intuition or you're already deep into your spiritual practice, this activation is for you. Don't miss this powerful opportunity. Mark your calendars for October 16th. Let's awaken your psychic gifts together. This session will be held at 5:30 p.m. on Bangkok time. So I know times can be confusing, so if you head to my website, www.gabriellebentley.com, and you hit the community button, you can sign up to be part of this community each month, and in there you're going to find a beautiful add event link. This is going to time convert all of these free events into your calendar so you know what's coming up and what you can catch the replay of. So simply jump to my website now, and I really hope I get to see you for this live activation. So I know this can be really hard to hear and it goes against a lot, but so often we put these pressures on our guides to deliver us something. We actually have an expectation of that. And that's not why they're here. Our guides are just here to really allow us to receive the next puzzle pieces in whatever we desire. That's it. The puzzle piece. They're not going to shift and change your life dramatically, but your life will change dramatically if you can ultimately be in the vibration of, I do know how to connect. I am connected. And when I connect to my guide, I actually connect to the flow of the universe. Because being psychically open isn't about connecting to guides or loved ones, right? Connecting to your spirit team is actually a freaking cool byproduct of becoming psychic. It's a byproduct. The truth, the true deepest core of psychic development that I've learned and expressed with the hundreds I've helped or talked to or done readings with is at the true heart of psychic development is remembering we are one. We are all. I am you. And if I've chosen to know myself in this lifetime, I know you. Because once I've experienced every level of feeling in my body, I can see and feel when you too are expressing that. I can see what it's like on the other side. I no longer have fear. Claiming your psychic gifts is claiming your remembrance of the great cosmic creation, that it's all an illusion. You're reclaiming that you are no longer confused. You are claiming you are no longer in the matrix. You're claiming to see more. You don't want to see the lies. You want to see the truth because you felt your own truth. So now you see it reflected in the world around you. And that is the truest key. It's like this flow state. It's like accepting that your psychic abilities are just this gift in your life that show you how to constantly stay in alignment if you choose to accept that frequency. If you believe you're worthy, the universe will show you how much better it gets through your psychic gifts because you naturally fall back into the 12 universal laws through your psychic gifts and you return to oneness. You return to abundance, you return to prosperity, you return to having all the things we felt as God, as the creator, as source, as true embodiment. We remember our power, our bravery, and that is the true gift I got from psychic development. Was it incredible? I got Micah and Michaela and the Stars Collective who helped me build out the psychic trainee program. 100%. But the best gift is the empowered me I got. The version of me who knows that when I look in the mirror, I'm looking at an aspect of God. I am made of the same source. And when I choose to be in shame, I am choosing to shame God. That inner knowing that now comes from me. So I'm going to loop back to more info about your guides because they are very interesting. And they come in so many shapes and sizes. And they really do deliver these beautiful wisdoms and remind us of our truth. They're never trying to help. They're only ever trying to remind. They're never trying to manipulate. They're never trying to make you do something. If you feel like they're trying to make you do something, it's because you believe you're lacking something. It's not because they perceive you as lacking something. They're just like, you told me before you crossed over, this is your goal. And all I have to do is read the sticky note, Gabs, you gave me before you decided to incarnate. And I'm just telling you the same 180 things on the list. Sit down, meditate, feel oneness. Remember your power. Remember you are God. Remember you are the manifester. Remember you are your truth. And then he calls me honey. So this is a different conversation than we have often about spirit teams. It's pretty generally cut and dry. So I want to talk about some things that I really teach in the psychic traineeship that are different. So I don't believe we have one spirit team or one guide. We have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. Why? Because we are hundreds of thousands of people. So I have my doorkeeper. So my doorkeeper is the guide that spends the most time with us. Their job actually is to maintain our energy field, or what we call our auric field. That's their full-time job because they're in the low ranks, they say. And they decided to hang out with me. And he's pretty chuffed about it, to be honest, because he says that my auric field gets a lot of work, Gabs, and it's an exhausting job sometimes, because sometimes I'm slack, and that's okay because living in the human body is exhausting, and that's why we build a team. So his job is to help me keep my energy tight, to help me keep protected, and just to be feeling good energetically, because when I am exhausted in my body, it actually affects my psychic energy. His only job is really my psychic energy as a doorkeeper. But that also, your psychic energy, your chakra system actually is a reflection of when you're sick. It's actually a reflection of what you eat, how you sleep, what coffee you drink. Do you drink coffee with mold in it? Like every little decision is a reflection of your psychic energy, because your psychic energy is your consciousness, and you are only consciousness, and your consciousness is the part of you you reconnect to become psychic. So we have hundreds of spirit teams, right? We have the doorkeeper whose job is to protect our energy. We have personal guides that are assigned from us from birth, which is our doorkeeper. But also we have other guides who might be a career guide. So they're going to show up at the age of like 18 and spend the rest of their life with you, right? We have parenting guides that show up when children are born. We have artistic guides and learning guides. We have language guides. We have guides every time we question, can we do more? Every time we push our nervous system into a new level or we smash through a ceiling, generally a new guide shows up to support us because we're doing something new, unless we've already got a guide who's helping us with that specific thing. So you're like, Gabs, we're 15 minutes into this app and you haven't even told me how to connect to my guide. I'm kind of disappointed. Well, I've got your back. So As we know, spirit doesn't come into your life to take control of what happens. They provide subtle nudges, messages, synchronicities that align you to the truest essence of what you think you should do in this lifetime as a soul. Their role is to guide and offer support. But you're still in charge of your decision. You don't have to do what you want. You don't have to do what they say, and nor is there any consequences, because it's you against you. You are breaking your own plan, and sometimes it's just fun to F around and have fun. Like as a human, like as a soul, like we're just here to mess around and have fun. And so often we're taking it so seriously, and especially when we come into light work. And I'm not saying don't take your clients seriously or don't take the responsibility serious, but we take it so seriously. Like, I have to heal. I have to transcend. I have to unblock. I have to find my purpose. Like, people ask me what I do, and it's like, I'm a psychic development teacher. Some days I'm just a regular old psychic. Some days I run a psychic academy. Sometimes I explain to people that I'm the only person in the world who runs a triple certification psychic school, and just like what a rarity that is in the world. Like, so often we go to psychic courses and we don't even leave with real certifications, let alone actually be able to get insurance and backing in order to start a true spiritual star CEO company, right? So you've got to realize that there is no box. You are in full charge of your decisions. You are in full power. Now, here's the biggest tip, and I hope you've stayed to hear, because your guides will not guide you if you don't ask for guidance. One of the most critical things to remember is that your guides won't interfere unless you ask them to. They will respect your free will, so make a practice of asking for their guidance, whether through journaling or asking, hey, in 24 hours, can you show me an owl if I should X? And if I don't see it in 24 hours, I'm going to take that as a no. And until you give your guides a yes and no option, and sometimes how I give a spirit signs is I want to see a purple flower for yes or a blue flower for no. And I want to feel the feeling that I know when I see it. I am so clear in my communication. And so often the miscommunication with guides is the lack of intention, because we feel like we're not going to get an answer. And our guides will only mirror what we believe, because they can't give you more than what you believe you're worthy of. That breaks the rule, because we're God trying to remember our power, our truth, our essence, right? They can't give us what we don't believe we're worthy of. And worthiness isn't your problem. Honestly, if you feel like you have this shadow, message me on Instagram. I want to help you, because I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people through their worthiness shadows in sometimes the space of a week. Hey, beautiful soul. If you've ever felt that nudge deep inside, it's your intuition calling you to step into something greater. Imagine a life where you're not just clocking in and out of a 9 to 5, but you're living in full alignment with your heart and soul, making a profound impact on the world around you. That's exactly what the Psychic Traineeship is all about. It's a 9-month transformative course where we'll deep dive into the mystic realms of psychic readings, the Akashic records, connecting to your spirit team, psychic healing, and so much more. You won't just gain certifications. You'll become the grounded, empowered healer you're destined to be. The best part, this program is designed for flexibility and freedom, allowing you to shape your own path. Work in person, online, or with groups. The choice is yours once you become a certified psychic. The live group calls are held twice a week in 2 time zones, so you're not going to miss a thing. This is through America and the Australian time zone, so just pick whatever schedule suits you. Each session is a sacred space for learning, practice, and deep connection with like-minded souls. Plus, you'll have access to ongoing support, pre-recorded modules, and community here to cheer you on every step of the way, because nothing is more powerful than a group of women where psychics come together and learn from one another. So imagine soul sisters, deep chats every single week, whilst unlocking your intuitive abilities and stepping up as the healer you know you incarnated to be. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is actually it. Trust your intuition, take the leap, join the community of souls who are on the same journey as you. The freedom is yours, and the impact you have dreamed of making is within your reach. Head to my website to learn more and book your discovery call with me today so we can make a plan on how you can become the best psychic you want to be and how you can change the world, because I believe every light worker, every starseed incarnated for a deep reason, and I want to help you get there. So jump to my website and book your discovery call today. Because it's generally not actually what we're worthy of, it's what we think we can give ourselves. And when we start to realize it's what we can give ourselves, we become the changers, the writers, the directors, the playwright, the creator, the space writer. We write to our guides what we want, and our guides respond because we've written the script clearly. So message me if you feel like that resonates with you and you want to really shift that really quickly. Like I've watched people shift this in weeks. So your guides won't interfere, okay? And it will show up in ways you probably don't expect. And that's why you have to know what to look for. I'm not saying you have to pay attention, because what will happen, the universe will go, I feel like you should turn to the right. So you're like, I'm going to turn to the right. And then you see it. And it's good to have open universal signs. So one of my universal signs I used to talk about on the old podcast, Activate Your Intuition, was my universal sign for flow is GB. So whenever I see GB, I'm in flow. And whenever I see AGB, and it's actually Gab, G-A-B, like my name Gabs, my mom's name's Anne, and my dad's name's Brad, and it actually spells Gab, which is just like amazing for me. And that's my family in flow. That's like when my family are in flow, right? When I know my parents are okay. Sometimes I ask the universe, are my parents okay? And I'll see that. And if I don't see it in 24 hours, I'll just ring them and be like, hi, how are you? It's been happening. Tell me all about it. I have space for you. You can do things like that. Your spirit team want to help you, but unless you set parameters, and I was just talking to my client in Slack, and she was talking about how she started working with a new deity. And this deity, she started to feel the shadow aspects of this deity, and she straight away went to her sheet. And I teach all of my clients how to have boundaries with their spirit team. So they create a spirit boundary checklist. Like, how do I want my spirit team to show up for me? And we have a list and expectations. And we actually tell our spirit team those expectations so they play in our rules. Hey, don't come in the middle of the night. Hey, don't annoy me on public holidays. Hey, I only work between 10 a.m. and 1. Go away. Like, respect us. And when we don't have those boundaries, our spirit team don't know how to show up. So they don't want to frustrate us or create unneeded chaos. So they don't. So one of the biggest things I want to talk about is why we struggle to connect to our guides. And it's not because you're not psychic. I want you to know that right now I'm ordaining you as a psychic priestess in this moment. I want you to feel that. Like I'm literally sending energy out into the cosmos. You are already a psychic priestess, a psychic god, a psychic intuitive, a medium. You are everything because you have the capacity to be that if you choose to remember your goddess energy. Right? But what stops us from being psychic, and the really quick, easiest way I'm going to say this, is we don't believe we can. Or our body's frequency is so low, and a way to check on your frequency is, am I happy every day? If you struggle to find some form of happiness, now I also want to break down the word happiness. So it might be joy or gratitude or the feeling of love in your chest. So there are 3 words I use to describe happiness. You might experience love, a moment of joy, or a moment of gratitude. Okay? If you're not experiencing a high level of joy every day, it actually indicates you've got a low vibration. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, Gabs, wow, this is so life-changing. I've just realized I don't know how to make myself happy. And you're just telling me in order to be psychic, I have to be happy. Shit. I want you to message me because I actually have a free masterclass. So go run to Instagram, go to I am Gabrielle Bentley and be like, I just listened to your podcast. I want the free masterclass about shadows and frequency and how to work with the vibrational scale. And I'll literally send it to you because I want you to master this. I want you to become the best psychic known to man. And I've got so many free resources on my hub for you. So on my website, which I call my hub, there's a free psychic quiz for you to try out. So go and message me if you need that. But our body, as vibration, needs to be in a neutral state. Now, neutrality isn't just being neutral. Do you know what it is? It's having good and bad experiences simultaneously in the same day. Creates neutrality throughout the day. So if we're not experiencing the highs to measure out the annoyances or the feelings that we're not feeling as grand about, we don't have neutrality. And neutrality is really a place of empowerment. Neutrality is not being triggered or overly excited. Because when we are overly excited, it's much harder to connect to our spirit team because we're using a lot of our energy very, very, very quickly. And what we really need to be in psychicness is in neutrality, in a ventral vagal state, out of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So if your body is constantly in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, you'll struggle to connect to your spirit team, right? And that is only because of how you're living your life. It has nothing to do with whether you're psychic or not. So if you struggle to connect with your psychic abilities, my number one biggest piece of advice is 1, don't meditate. Start doing activations. If you don't know what this is, I'll be talking about this next week on the podcast in our womb healing activation in our community. So you'll learn heaps about this next week, I promise. But ultimately, if you're like, Gabs, how do I today make my intuition work better? My truest answer would be find one thing that makes you incredibly happy and do that every day to lift your vibration, because it's pointless to go and meditate in a low vibrational state. I feel I should is actually a low vibrational state. Anytime I use the word I should, I have to. That's who I want to be. I have no choice but to do that. We're actually coming from victim mentality and we ruin our chances to connect psychically. Mindset is the biggest thing in psychic development. Okay. Mindset is the biggest thing in psychic development. So start with your mind. Start with how can I make myself happy? Here are some examples of things I do before I go to connect to my spirit team. I dance to my favorite songs. I put on good candles and incense. I pray. I listen to guitar music. I play with my oracle cards because I love them. I drink ceremonial cacao because it's naturally high vibrational. This is why I used to own the company, Your Sacred Ritual. And if you're looking to try ceremonial cacao, this is amazing. But I hope this explains to you, 1, why you're not connecting to your spirit guides, 2, how to connect to them, and 3, who they are and how to think about them in such a positive way. So I really want to leave you some closing thoughts. Remember, your spirit guides are here to support your growth and empower, not save you. You're your own greatest guides. The more you commit to your own healing, the more aligned and powerful your connection to them will be. They are your team, but you are always the leader. 2, commit to the journey. Building a relationship with your spirit team is actually a lifelong journey. The more you invest in your personal healing and alignment, the stronger and clearer your connection will become. It's a partnership that deepens over time, and I encourage you to explore that connection with an open mind and open heart. So, there's going to be a lot more of these mini masterclasses, so I hope you enjoyed. It was designed to offer a complete overview of spirit guides whilst empowering you to take responsibility for your own healing journey. If you've got to this 28-minute mark of this podcast and you're like, Gabs, babe, but like, how do I connect? I want to remind you that psychic development is more mindset work than anything. It's your why. This is why I teach shadow work in psychic development, because it's absolutely life-changing. If you feel your guides are trying to get you to be better, it's because you feel you're lacking something. They're never trying to do that. They're just always trying to remind you of your power, and I hope you never forget that. So with that, that's the end of this week's episode. I want to take a moment and thank you for being here. And I'm going to see you next week. Hey, gorgeous soul. I just wanted to take a moment and say a heartfelt thank you for tuning into this podcast. Your energy and your presence, it means the world to me. If you've been enjoying these podcasts, I have a small favor to ask, and it only takes a few minutes, but it makes a huge difference. If you would leave a review or share your thoughts, it would help us find our tribe and continue spreading this beautiful, empowering work. Your feedback helps more like-minded souls discover our community, and it inspires me to keep creating content that resonates deeply with you. So if you're feeling the love, please hit that review button. Let's grow this community together, continue to uplift, inspire, and transform. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey with me. I can't wait to connect with you again in the next episode. But until then, I want to remind you there is a community here. If you jump to my website, join our community, come to the free monthly activations or masterclasses. And don't forget, in the community hub, there is a question and answers channel. And if you've ever wanted a podcast on a specific thing, or you've wanted to drop a question, go drop it in there. I want to make this podcast specifically for you. I want you to learn what you want to know, and I want you to become the best psychic you can be. And I'm just along for the journey. So go drop your questions, and I'm going to see you next week.